Well, hey guys, this is XepherGames. I'm Jake, and this week, this is welcome to Endgame, the show where the end is where we begin. Yeah, anyway, so this show looks at the end of a video game. We're reviewing video games. In particular, this week we're doing Metroid Prime 3, Corruption. That's right, the one where you laugh evilly every time you say it, just cause it's fun. I didn't, because... Sorry, had to get it out of my system. Anyway, so, like I said, this week's Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. Spoiler alert. Just gonna do a big blanket spoiler alert, because holy crap, there are gonna be a lot of spoilers. This show is called Endgame, so, I mean... yeah, there's going to be spoilers. I'm talking about the end of a game. If that should make sense. I mean, I don't think I really have to explain any more than that. There's a lot of spoilers, but I will tell you, big spoiler alert, if there's going to be anything like huge that you really need to know that I'm going to spoil in a second, like, oh my god, Cloud killed Aerith. That didn't actually happen, by the way. Anyway, guys, get ready, check out Metroid Prime 3, Corruption. Doesn't it just make you want to press A to start? Yeah. Alright guys, here's the summary. The official classification for the Metroid series, according to the back of the box, is first-person adventure. And to be honest, while that kind of sounds lame and doesn't really fulfill all of the aspects of the genre, it does give a pretty good sense of what you're getting into. It's like a first-person shooter, but... and it is, but it's a lot more than that. And in some ways a lot less than that. We'll get into the details of the comparisons later, but basically it's a space shooter item collection extravaganza. Oh, and spoiler, Samus is a girl. Anyway, moving on. The major foci, or focuses, for those of you with bad grammar, are in this game are exploration and combat. We'll go into exploration later, but first let's focus on the combat. This game has fun combat, if not really fulfilling. Some of it is really challenging, and we'll get into the difficulty more later. I'm keep on saying that, but we're not going to. Anyway, the combat is tricky at times. You have to figure out how to beat each enemy, and that lends a strategic aspect to the combat that is lacking in many first-person shooters, where you're just supposed to point and shoot. But on the other hand, once you know how to beat the enemies by scanning them, by the way, it becomes really easy. I mean, all the fights are kind of pushovery. I mean, yeah, there are enemies that are hard, and you know, bosses are actually really difficult sometimes, as long as you're playing on the harder difficulties. So I'm not like ragging them. I'm not ragging on them for it, but it really doesn't. It's not a visceral, trigger hair, first-person shooter, edge of your seat kind of thing. I mean, you do get kind of anxious sometimes, but mostly you're just like exploring and shooting the random enemies that appear. Okay, that brings us to the exploration segment. So that's the big part of this game. Exploring the vast, ridiculous world of wherever you are. In fact, previous Metroid games almost always were located on one planet. No, not with this game. They had to bring like five. There's five freaking planets, plus a spaceship, and that other place that I can never remember. So there are a lot of different places to explore. Anyway, you can explore these places. Why you explore them? To find the loot. And that is the biggest part of this game. We'll go over this more in detail in the gameplay section, but basically, exploration, item collection, it is the #1 priority of this game. Combat is secondary, unlike almost any other game I can think of, especially first-person shooters, where item collection is so far below the exploration content. Anyway, alright, time for Dare to Compare. I'm not really going to call the segment that because that's way too cheesy, but I wrote it down because I'm a cheesy person. So, I'm going to compare this game, Metroid Prime 3 specifically, to other games in the same genre. Let's compare it to another first-person shooter. Let's do Borderlands. That seems like a decent comparison. It's not as straight up direct as like Call of Duty, but it seems more fair since there's still kind of the collection aspect in Borderlands. So we'll compare those two. Alright, so Metroid Prime has far less like loot. It doesn't randomly generate stuff, but you have to work hard to get it, and that gives you a sense of accomplishment when you do get it. On the other hand, the loot you get doesn't matter much. I'll go into that more later again, but seriously, getting that extra 5 missiles doesn't matter that much, as opposed to finding that new awesome gun in Borderlands. It feels cool, even though you're going to end up selling 99% of everything you pick up in that game. Alright, so now let's compare the shooting aspects. Well, Borderlands is harder, and it's more challenging, but Metroid, actually, I can't really think of any good reason why Metroid's shooting is better. I mean, I do like the fact that you have to be strategic when fighting enemies instead of just blowing the crap out of everything in Borderlands, but at least in Borderlands, you get to run over stuff with your vehicle. Okay, I said it, alright? I love Samus's gunship. Love it. It's super cool. But do we ever get to pilot it? No. I'm still holding out for that game, though. That's going to be its own game, like Star Fox, except not sucky. Alright. Dare to compare, Borderlands usually wins, but I actually personally prefer Metroid, because I love the exploration. Even though everything I said about it makes sense for Borderlands, I still like Metroid better. Goes to show you, Nintendo is magic. Not that oh god, now I'm gonna get hate mail. Oh god. Alright, next up, the ratings. Alright guys, whoa, what is wrong with my hair? That's sort of better. Alright, so we're gonna move right into the ratings. Aesthetics is first. This game gets, I don't remember what I put down, let's go. Okay, this game gets I don't have a graph, I don't have like an animated thing, but I'm gonna do this anyway because it's fun. This game, Metroid Prime 3, gets a 10 out of 10 for aesthetics. 10. This game has amazing graphics, and I should probably be like segueing to some actual gameplay footage where I show you the amazing graphics, but you're gonna see them throughout the rest of it, so like, you'll get the idea. Amazing graphics, like the best on the Wii. In my opinion, period. It's just amazing. So freaking good. Everything's detailed, everything's lovingly crafted, and everything moves realistically. The epic backgrounds are epic. I'll just move on now, because I think you get it. Alright, next up, we got gameplay. This part is pretty important. It's kind of what makes the game. And I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Now, the game is fun, no doubt about it, but there are serious issues with some of the basic mechanics. Like I said earlier, exploration is key, item collection is key, so what do they do? In previous Metroid games, many of the upgrades were like almost necessary to beat the games. The games were really hard, and all the upgrades were like really helpful, and just, it made sense. This one, there's a lot of extraneous stuff and things that you don't really need but feel like you have to get anyway. For example, let's just run through the items really quick. For example, let's look at everything. Okay, energy tanks. The most basic thing. Life. It's your life. You have to have it. But unfortunately, there's too much of it. You can get through the game easily with only like 4, assuming you're not playing on hyper mode, and then it just this hardest difficulty, which just then renders this entire conversation moot. But anyway, you don't really need that many tanks of energy, even for the final boss, which I'll get to later, because it's a totally separate matter. Anyway, for almost anything, you don't need more than like 2 bars of health, so not really worth it. Missiles. Yeah, more missiles! Yes! But you get 255. That's like the max you can get, but you can play the whole game with 10. I rarely ever need more than 10 missiles, and yet they give me like 1 billion. What? Anyway, yeah, the worst offender though are the ship missiles. They you know, like you think, okay, you get more missiles for your gunship, man. That's cool. But it's useless. There are 2 points in the game, 2 whole points right next to each other, near the beginning of the game, where you can use these ship missiles. And that's it. That's it. Pulling my glasses up. That's it. And then you keep on collecting these upgrades throughout the rest of the game, and you don't use them for anything! I don't get it! What are you thinking, Nintendo? You give us, like, I have like 10 missiles now, and I never have to go reload again, no. But I'm never gonna use them. I mean, if you could, like, bomb enemies with them or something, that would be amazing. I would love that, but you can't do that. All you can do with them is sit there and say, ha ha ha, I have 10 ship missiles and you do not. Ha ha ha. Anyway, so really the only point of collecting all these items is to see the secret endings, and I'll show you that later, but really, there's no other point other than to feel accomplished, like, yes, I found all the items, which of course I did, because I have to, you know, I'm a perfectionist. So, anyway, there are serious problems, but the game is still fun, nonetheless. I mean, like, the storyline's actually pretty good for a Metroid game, the fighting is fun, even though it's kind of easy at times, and the exploration and item collection is great, even though it kind of sucks. I can't explain it. If it's fun, it's fun. You just have to play it. All right. Storyline. Okay. I give storyline 9 out of 10. I mean, it's great for a Metroid game. I mean, I'm not saying that all games are based on Metroid scale, because let me tell you, if Uncharted 3 had a storyline the depth of this game, I would be pooping all over that game. That would be awful. But this game keeps Samus silent, which I appreciate, actually. I mean, it works very well. It keeps her silent, and it tells a good story, okay? It's like you're fighting evil Phazon corruption, and you have to go to their homeworld, smash stuff, and you have to destroy the evil seeds, and it's just a really good story. I'm ranting now, okay? Just deal with it for a second. Okay, so it's a really good storyline for a Metroid game. They didn't screw with Samus, so I'm happy with it. 9 out of 10. I mean, it's not perfect, so I can't say it's perfect and give it 10, but anyway. Alright, time for the Endgame. This is the part of the show where we apply a multiplier from 0 to 2. I don't know why I'm doing this backwards. I just feel like it. From 0 to 2. Depending on how good the ending of the game is. And that's really where most of the points come from. Because if you get like a 1.5, it's going to be a lot better than a 0.5. It's going to make a big difference. Okay. So, the storyline ending. Oh, boy. Yes. It was good. They blew up a planet. I'm happy. I'm happy with any Metroid game as long as you blow up a planet. I need to mess with my hair for a bit. What? Okay. as long as you blow up a planet, I'm happy. I mean, the ending was, I mean, like, they even provide a bit of tension there at the end where you're like, oh man, Samus dead, oh my goodness. If you get the secret ending, they even show, like, a little, like, ship chasing after Samus at the end. And you're like, what? What is that? Turns out it's actually Silux's ship, another rival bounty hunter who hates her to death, and they might be opening the door for a new game, but I just ruined all that for you. You're welcome. Alright, so I'll give the storyline ending a, oh man, 9 out of 10, I guess. Yeah, I mean, if Samus had, like, I don't know, suddenly done, like, amazing gymnastics and crap. I mean, they even did, like, a little nice scene showing how she missed all the poor bounty hunters who died. But it wasn't perfect, but it was really nice. So I'll give it 9 out of 10. The final boss, on the other hand, oh my god, so bad. Okay, here's how it goes. And the final level, they did a Deus Ex Machina on us. Except worse. You know how sometimes in games, you get all the way to the end of this fun little platformer, you mastered the game, you're like expert all the skills, and then suddenly it's a third-person shooter, and you're like, what? Why are they making me learn this whole new game style for the last level? Well, it's kind of the same thing in Metroid Prime 3, except it's the same game, except they take away all your health and replace it with some stupid, like, static life meter. Never changes. And it's basically throwing it in your face and saying, hey, guess what? I'm good for you for collecting all those power-ups and crap, but it doesn't matter one bit. Yeah, you just... whatever. So it makes the item collection even stupider! Since it doesn't even matter if you collect all the health containers, since it just resets it to this stupid bar at the end. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, like, having more life containers, like, adjusts how it moves, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Anyway, all of that, plus the final boss, oh my god, it's such a pushover. I mean, even in the, like, hard difficulty, which is what I play on normally, just for, you know, normal, even on the hard difficulty, it's a pushover. I barely even lost any life, because you don't have any health meter anymore. I barely even lost any life, so why is this the final boss? I mean, the fighting Dark Samus right before the final boss was actually a little bit more challenging, although still not really that hard. It was cooler, admittedly. Alright. I'm gonna give this like a 4 out of 10. It was just bad. I mean, it was... yeah, 3 out of 10. I have to change my mind. It's bad. I can't justify it. Alright, shut up. Alright. Ease of completion rate. Yeah. Okay, I owe you an explanation on this. Ease of completion is the phenomenon where I will get halfway through a game and then say, oh, I don't want to play this game anymore. Or, oh, I want to go play some more Skyrim instead of this game. Oh my, what's wrong with my hair? Stupid hair. Anyway. So. Or, I get to the end of the game, and then just get like, and then I just get all over the place. Blah. No, I'm sorry. I get to the end of the game, and I get stuck on something. There's one little thing, a little puzzle that I don't know what I'm doing wrong, and I just get stuck, and then I drop the game for like 6 months, and I come back and I'm like, oh, I don't know what's going on, start the whole game over. That's not fun. Worse yet is just stopping for no reason, just because you're not interested enough. Anyway, that's the point of this score, and that's what I'm going to be judging from now on. This game gets a surprisingly high 8 out of 10. I mean, I had to play this game through again just to get some more footage, and to be honest, I mean, I didn't have any problem finishing it. Like, it only took me a week, I think, and I just whipped right through it. I found all the power-ups and beat the final boss in a week. I mean, it's not like it's a super short game, but it kept my attention, and that's the important part. If it keeps your attention long enough to beat it, doesn't mean you have to keep your attention for months. Although if it's Skyrim, it has to keep your attention for years. But as long as it keeps your attention through the end of the game, then you'll be saying at the end, "Oh, that was a great game. I think I'll play through it again sometime." Hey guys, this is Jake. What am I talking about? This is the end of the video. Oh my gosh! Alright, so we got our scores all tallied up, and through a very complicated process I like to call math, we can begin our search for the answer. Alright, on my little crappy sheet of wonder, we have the aesthetics at 10 out of 10, gameplay at 7 out of 10, storyline at an surprisingly high 9 out of 10, which gives us a total overall basic score of 26 out of 30. Now, from there, I will apply a modifier to it based on the endgame results, which I calculate in a really stupid manner, but basically amounts from a bonus from 0 to 2. And that multiplier will vary where it is. So naturally, the lowest possible score for this show is 0, and the highest is 60. And I'm still doing this backwards because it's flipped and I'm on a video. 0 to 60. 60. 60. Anyway. So, but also keep in mind, due to the multiplieric nature of this test, an average score of 5s all around is actually, what was it? I had this figured out a minute ago. 15. So if this is even slightly, if this is like 25, this is good. 30 is like, go buy it. 50 or higher, you're like, oh my god, if you don't own this, you're a doofus. You're an idiot. Okay, so the total score for Metroid Prime 3 Corruption is 36.4. It's amazing. I knew it was amazing. I gave it a little bit too high a score, and I'm actually planning a show someday in the future, like after I've made like 100 of these or something like that, and I actually have a following, where I'll make reviews and then like have people vote on them and try so they can adjust the reviews like a notch or two down so that we can get like a community thing going. We'll try that like someday, maybe. Probably not, but maybe. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, favorite, all that great stuff. This is XepherGames on Endgame. And I'll see you next time. Oh, yeah, and if you have any more ideas for other games to review on here, just post in the comments or send me a message. Whatever. Bye.